sharp, talks a lot on the phone and on the TV with speakers and stuff, and I was like a sex slave, okay?
After days of extreme tension in the courtroom with the testimony of Cassie Ventura, Diddy's ex-lover, today's trial heated up as Jonathan Audi officially took the stand. All eyes were on Audi as he recounted every horrific detail about the torture chamber in Diddy's mansion, where victims were imprisoned, tortured under glaring red lights and loud music to drown out their screams. In a stunned moment, Audi looked toward Diddy and said with bitter resolve, "I was a sex slave, I heard a lot of things." Each word cut like a knife into the glamorous image of the powerful music mogul. Meanwhile, Diddy sat silently, his face pale, hands covering his eyes, as if trying to escape the harsh truth, being brutally exposed in the name of justice. The details read aloud in court froze the atmosphere. According to many witnesses, Diddy covered his face when the most gruesome parts were mentioned. So what exactly did the testimony say? And could this be the fatal blow that could bring down Diddy's entire empire? Listen closely to the testimony of the accused slave that shook the courtroom, and the world in the video below. One Audi's testimony shakes the court. The Manhattan federal courtroom was suffocating and intensely tense yesterday when a crucial witness, Diddy's slave, took the stand. Jonathan Audi, a name once dismissed as fictional and delusional, has now become the focal point when Cassie Ventura affirmed under oath that Audi had been hired repeatedly to commit depraved acts. Everything shifted. The story of Jonathan Audi had been buried by the world in 2018. He caused chaos at former President Donald Trump's hotel in Florida and was arrested for a shooting. At that time, Audi claimed he was Diddy's sex slave, a claim mocked as paranoia. But now it's different. Now is the time after the federal raid on Diddy's home. Now is the moment when an indictment for trafficking in adult services has been filed. And now all eyes turn back to Jonathan Audi in an orange prison jumpsuit, hands cuffed in front. Audi entered like a ghost emerging from Hollywood parties he had always tried to forget. Audi, once a stripper, once considered a weirdo due to the Doral shooting, now was the key witness in a trial that could permanently bury Sean Diddy Combs' empire. Judge Aaron Subramanian looked at Audi from a bench, then glanced at Diddy. The court demands honesty, not sensationalism, he said. But if there's any truth that has been hidden, today is the day it needs to come to light. Please tell the whole truth. Diddy sat behind expressionless, lips pressed tight. The man once dubbed a bad boy king seemed trapped on his own throne, surrounded by lawyers, cameras, and the silent contempt of the public. Audi took a deep breath, eyes bloodshot, staring straight at Diddy, voice trembling but resolute. "I'm here to tell the truth. He began Sean Combs, or Diddy destroyed my life. He is a monster. In 2018 at the Trump International Hotel, I fired a gun, but not because I wanted to. It was because Diddy manipulated me, controlled my mind. He used some technology. I don't know exactly what it was, but it made me hear his voice in my head. Quesadillas ordered me to do terrible things to cover up his crimes." The courtroom murmured, some shaking their heads, whispering about conspiracy theories. Judge Subramanian banged his gavel, calling for order. "Mr. Audi, please focus on specific facts," she said sternly. "You say Mr. Combs manipulated you. Do you have any evidence?" Audi leaned forward, voice rising, filled with emotion. "Evidence, the evidence of my ruined life. He made me a mental slave. He threw lavish parties, gave me strange substances. And then I started hearing his voice in my head. He ordered me to protect his secrets about trafficking, about girls forced into it. He threatened to destroy me and my family if I didn't obey." Audi continued slower, but haunting. "I'm not here to play the victim." He said, "I'm here to tell what really happened behind doors, locked by money and power." He described being invited to a party at Diddy's bare mansion, pink lights, deep house music. After days of mounting courtroom tension fueled by Cassie Ventura's harrowing testimony, but contained manipulative elements. She said commies tried to enlist Harper's help build rapport and convince the victim that they had voluntarily participated in adult activities, with clear implication of continuing financial support. As a covert exchange, Johnson further accused commies of using intermediaries to spread misinformation aimed at psychologically manipulating witnesses, an act deemed blatant interference with the legal process. If proven, these are not only evidence of wrongdoing, but could constitute serious obstruction of justice charges. Cammy's previous denial of bail due to risks of witness tampering is no longer surprising. At the November 27, 2024 hearing, Judge Aaron Subramanian cited evidence of his violent tendencies and prison regulation violations related to unauthorized communications. Moreover, on September 19, 2024, Judge Robin Tarnowski also denied bail, stating she could not guarantee public safety. If Commies was released, this decision was upheld by Judge Andrew Carter Jr., upon appeal demonstrating the federal court's consistent assessment of the defendant's risk, the case files against companies are increasingly heavy, including serious allegations such as conspiracy to extort human trafficking and transporting people for prostitution. Prosecutors allege that from 2008 to 2024, Combs led an organized network involved in forced labor kidnapping, arson, bribery, and obstruction of justice. However, the developments at the latest hearing made the situation much worse when the charges of perjury and contempt of court represented the severity of the case immediately soared. Federal perjury charges can carry up to 5 years in prison, a penalty separate from the main allegations. More troubling for the defense team was that these revelations could skew jury selection and profoundly impact the entire trial. When Judge Subramanian publicly expressed doubt about Combs' credibility while showing anger toward what he deemed deception and insult to the justice system, the music mogul's predicament worsened. In a rare decision, Judge Subramanian announced he would refer part of the case to federal prosecutors for further examination of additional charges related to perjury and obstruction of justice simultaneously. He revoked certain procedural privileges previously extended to Combs' lawyers, emphasizing this was a direct consequence of dishonesty during legal proceedings. The courtroom fell into stunned silence at this ruling. The restriction of procedural privileges deprived K's defense team of important tools in their strategy, putting them at a clear disadvantage before the official trial began. As the hearing ended, no one could deny that what happened had completely changed the trajectory of the case. What was once considered an unpredictable trial had now become nearly uncontrollable, and all legal eyes are now focused on the court's next move. The judge's firm response to the newly disclosed information transformed the courtroom's atmosphere, leaving a deep impression of rigor and a commitment to protecting the transparency of the law regardless of how the trial opening on May 12th unfolds. One thing is clear: the judge no longer trusts the defendant's honesty. Diddy's case of Manhattan is now not merely a legal battle between parties, but also carries important legal implications and deeper public significance when the opening statements take place next Tuesday. All attention will remain fixed on the federal courtroom in Manhattan, where the next chapter in this extraordinary legal saga will be written. The big question is not only whether Sean Diddy Combs will be found guilty or innocent of the serious charges he faces, but also whether the integrity of the judicial process can be maintained against efforts thought to undermine it. What do you think about Audi's testimony? And do you believe justice will be served? Share your thoughts below to keep this story alive. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. See you in the next video.